I'm Danny.
And I'm Althea.
And we are
DNA Live, baby.
What's up? We live.
Okay, so first we're going to do our little shout out.
Go ahead.
I'm actually going to shout out a belated birthday to our girl Natasha's mom, Judy. Thank you.
Shout out to Judy.
Happy birthday, my girl. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to our sponsors. YNVS, Slapwoods, Villan, Natural Born Clothing Brand, and Maverick Global Distribution. Okay, so I'm going to make this short and sweet.
Go ahead.
Okay, because we got a really good guest coming on.
Go ahead.
Okay, and I want to siphon as much time with him as I can. So when we come back from commercial break, we will introduce Mr. Russ Miller, Mr. Multi-Platinum Recording Artist Drummer. So stay tuned and don't move.
Eres bella, tus ojitos me iluminan, aunque no quiera, me tiene loco en la cabeza. Guardo tus fotos, no las he borrado, y tus besitos no los he olvidado. Eres bella, I think about you all the time, but it's been 2 years now since I last saw you, y no sales de mí.
Put your hands up. Right now we're inside a war with ourselves. Yo, America, are we gonna wake up from this? Where the real Americans at, you heard? Where we at? Man, you blinded and you lied, you just censor inside your own. Everyone pretends they love you but messing you up in homes. Laughing without the way you can't even afford food. And everybody looking at you acting so rude. They thinking that they love you, your skin, that's what they see. They don't understand the militant well it be. But the anger that they got, they just play for each other. A civil war, they trying to come for us, kill one another. But I woke up last night, I gotta talk to my peers. Tell them, listen, we gotta march and what do we hear? You laughing, you crying, you angry, you feeling and skating. Saying with all the time, they just demonstrated. Leave you inside the cars, they don't wanna see you out. They leave you locked doors, breaking your jaws over locked. They lock you up, they wanna trap you, put you inside with a lock, it's mental block. Cause all you ever hearing is the cops screaming lifeless. Now all of a sudden we thinking prices. Putting that two there, be caught crashing in crisis. Now they hating how they even look. They try to lock us up, throw it down, try to play the book, wanna get us shook. Every time try to get it booked, overshook. Saying God is there but love is overlooked. They try pretending that we close with a phone next to each other's ears, but we're more social distancing corona years. They try to acting like we ain't one inside our home. We acting like that we ain't one and one inside our home. I said March is gone. I said let's fight. You can't censor us anymore. We lying to the people.
DNA in the house. Make sure you check out their radio station that what Miss J and the Misfits are on. Let's go.
I just love.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen.
I just love that commercial with Miss J.
Nah, that was great.
do. So anyway, please welcome Mr. Multi-Platinum Recording Artist Drummer Russ Miller to the show.
Yeah.
He is so handsome. I was so excited, no offense, but I was just so excited. And I don't get really, I do get excited with, most of our guests, but I got excited with him.
Oh my goodness.
You just, you know why? Because I appreciate everything that you have done in your career.
Thank you.
I read, it's not just about reading the bio on you was like reading a book.
Well, I'm old. See, it adds up after a while.
I'm looking at it going, what? He
The
did.
accomplishments are amazing.
It's not even accomplishments. It's everything that he wanted to do, his passion, and he just did it all. I mean, he's internationally recognized, He has okay.
making-
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're making me nervous now. What do I do?
You don't know how I've been for the last like half hour waiting for you to come on. You have no idea. Because, when you have, it's not about, it's star quality. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
You're talking star quality here. And you're talking about, I mean, I watched the videos that you did because you also teach, you also innovate. I mean, the list of the things that you have designed.
Yeah, it's a lot of.
Right? Flabbergasted. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I didn't even know how to pronounce half the stuff. Well, maybe 3/4 of the stuff. But you have done it all.
All all those inventions are. It's the necessity is the mother of invention thing. You're just in the middle of doing stuff,
Right.
and just run into something and go. Like I was doing these recordings with Mike Elizondo and all the guys. They were doing Dr. Dre and Macy Gray, and we were that whole hip hop era.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff was being programmed on drum machines, and they would ask us to come in to play real drums on it to make it feel better, because the machine didn't feel that good. But those machines, they had like Godzilla sounds, it all sounded. And so you'd hear these incredible sounds, and then you go play the drums and it sounded like boxes and toys. So I literally was like, I got to come up with a way of getting the bass drum, the real bass drum, to sound like this huge low end rap R&B bass drum that we all know, So, and that's when we used the trick of taking a big speaker and wiring it backwards, because every microphone is a little speaker.
Right.
So that's what it is. The sound comes in, it shakes, and then you amplify it. So we took a bigger speaker and turned it into a microphone, and I made that sub kick with Yamaha, and it became like an industry standard product for capturing the low end of real bass drum so that we could record in the style of music.
Is this guy a genius or what?
I would have never thought of that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Not him. That's
I would have never. No, I'm just being honest with you, my brother. I like the way basically you were like, there has to be a way to make this much easier.
Yeah. Well, we didn't invent that. Like Paul McCartney put a speaker in front of his bass amp on the White Album with the Beatles.
Okay.
But nobody had ever packaged it and put it in a thing that was usable, where you could take it. They were hanging like a speaker on a hanger with a mic stand, and just wiring it, soldering it together. So I put it in a drum shell, and it made it so that you could take it places and set it up and plug it in, and it was protected. And the other thing was cool is because we put it in a drum shell with drum heads, you could tune it. You could pitch of it. So if it got in the way of the bass or it got in the way of the synthesizers on the track, you could change the pitch. And so it just became a very viable use of that thing. And it ended up blowing up. So, I mean, just one example of where you're just doing stuff and you're like, man, we gotta get this to work.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's what he did. He took something and made it more magical. He made it not just to make it better, but to make the sound quality of something. He just took a simple little thing and said, hey, I can do something else with that.
Yeah. And Danny said that because everybody always says, every time you bring something out that works, everybody says the same thing. Like, how could we not have done that? I'm like, well, we're doing it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's it.
It's true.
It's our turn.
You did a lot with Yamaha, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got the other name. I don't remember the other name. Listen, I would need like 5 pages to list everything that he has done. Okay. But just listen to this because I have no idea what I'm talking about. I have no idea. He designed the Yamaha Yes mounts, vintage wood hoops, satellite kick drum trigger system. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. 20 years old, and I was working in a drum store in Florida. I went to the University of Miami School of Music, and I was working in a drum store, and Yamaha's a humongous company, right? They have probably 40 companies, and they're one of the few businesses that just name them all Yamaha, right? Because they're the biggest manufacturer of one-piece bathrooms in Japan. They're biggest manufacturer of mopeds in Southeast Asia, like Taiwan, all those places, and of course pianos and drums and just everything you know them for. So what happened was I was working in a drum store. They took all the guys that were in charge of literal clarinets, bassoons, like school band stuff, and they took the whole drum set and guitar division and said, okay, you guys are going to sell this stuff. So it was like these clarinet guys are like, hell's a amp and what the hell, what is all this stuff? The guy who was in charge of Florida, he came into the drum store and he said, listen, I'm a clarinet player with the Air Force Band, and I'm now in charge of selling Yamaha drums to the biggest drummers in the world.
Oh, wow.
I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Can I hang out with you for a week? Right. And learn about drums.
Right. Oh, so that's how basically you started in.
Yeah, I started, while I was in college, I got a gig at a drum store, just helping,
Oh, wow.
Stuff. And I was, just, to pay for college. And so anyway, he's like, I want to hang out with you for a week and learn about drums. So it sparked in my brain. I'm like, this guy works at Yamaha. It's the biggest music company in the world. Chance to get him to dig what I'm doing. So I was really cool with him. I took him on these educational clinics that I was doing to try to spur students up and showed him lessons and showed him these things and blah, blah, blah. And it was great. And we really hit it off. And his name was Jim Murphy. He ended up becoming such a crucial part of my life for a long time. He ended up being at my wedding.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
But he at the end of the week, he was leaving. He's like, man, thank you so much. I appreciate everything you did. I'm like, great, man. It's just nice to meet you. A week later, I get a call from the artist relations department at Yamaha and said, listen, we know you play Yamaha drums. We know you're doing something there. And Jim recommended you to become a Yamaha artist. Wow. So I signed an endorsement contract with Yamaha when I was about 21 years old. And that, for almost 24 years, I was a Yamaha artist, and we did about 80 different products. And, I toured the world. They supplied everything. I did tons of all-star events as the Yamaha house band and playing for everybody from, the Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys.
Oh my God.
To Sarah McLachlan, to Natalie Cole, to it just goes on and on and on.
I know. I read the list.
Yeah.
I saw Tina Turner, Natalie Cole, Ray Charles, Bobby Caldwell, Andrea Bocelli, Nelly Furtado, Psychedelic Furs, Hilary Duff, Steve Perry.
Go ahead.
Michael Bublé. This man has seen it all. That's all I got to say.
Why don't we get to the videos to show these
Okay, you know what? We'll get to the videos so we can show everybody.
We want to show everybody who this person is.
His career.
His career.
There you go. Come on, let's do it.
Go ahead. Go to the videos. Show everybody. Let's go.
Let's go.
I love you, see. I came back to let you know, got a thing with you, and I can't let go. I know I only want the best and true. I can't believe the things I do for you. Hey, what you won't do.
Oh my God.
Phenomenal.
I want the next one. Let's do the next one.
Day 3, orchestra, onward, big group out there, almost 100 players, and we're excited to be here with these amazing filmmakers and this great band. It's a great band.
Onward. Okay, next one. Let's go.
On the there's a hole in the sky where the sun don't shine. And a clock on the wall and it counts my time. And heaven is the moment. And heaven won't tear you apart. Yeah.
One more.
Do you ever feel so deep that you speak your mind? You put others straight to sleep. You wonder if anybody cares. Sometimes I think I'm the only one whose day turned out unlike it had begun, and I feel very naked, and I just can't take it. I'm getting
There you go. Okay, that's all I gotta say. I was looking at it, and every time I saw one of the videos, I was like, "There's Russ. There he goes. Oh my god!" And you actually did the Pro Bowl. I saw the video with that too.
Yeah, with Jennifer. Yeah, the Pro Bowl halftime.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
so do you have like your
Best in the world. It was like 3 days, in Hawaii with a suite at the Hilton.
you poor thing?
Played for 3 minutes, and that was it. Hung out with all the.
But he was in Hawaii.
Yeah, but I saw him do the one with that guy. Remember that you said I didn't know?
Oh, Andre Bocelli.
Yeah, play that one
Oh,
real
do you
quick.
have the
I want
Andre
everybody to see
Bocelli?
that
Can
one.
we play the Andre Bocelli? I love Andre.
Next guest is an international singing superstar who sang at the NBA All-Star Game this past weekend. He sold nearly 50 million CDs worldwide. He's got a new CD, Amore. Please welcome Andrea Bocelli, everybody.
Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Bésame.
Okay.
On the wall and it counts my
Okay. Yeah, I just can't anymore because my brain is like going crazy right now with this man.
Andrea's he's
Oh
I
my
don't-
god. How it was working with him.
there's moments a lot of times you get these star bands together and all these heavy guys are in the band, and the artist is the weakest person on stage, on some of those. But when you're with Andrea Bocelli or Al Jarreau or people like that, they're the strongest person on stage. You got superstars in the band that have done all these things, a million things, and this guy's still the strongest cat up there. And I never a bad note ever. And he's a ridiculous concert level pianist. Like, I mean, he's unbelievable and just a super talent and real pure artistry, right? Because it's because of his handicap of being blind.
Yeah.
Like there's that, all of that, the visual aspect of it is sort of out the window, which is sort of what a lot of music is based on now, right? Where you have these artists that if there's 100%, the visual vibe hook is 90 of it and the music is 10, and his is like the music is 95 and 5 of it is elegant, and that's it. So it's like a flip flop of a lot of things you see, but he's a monster.
Yeah,
you could see it. You could see it in his stage presence.
Yeah, I don't remember
even on TV.
I don't remember him playing piano, but I mean, my mom and dad loved him.
Yeah, yeah, killer, just great music. Playing like the Vienna Symphony in Tuscany with outside with him. You're like, how did this happen?
Why weren't we like? I would have been related to this man. I would have been all over the place.
Yeah, my wife used to go with me all the time, and now she's just now she goes. I'm like, okay, I'm going over here. She's like, will there be any famous people there? I'm like, yeah. So, okay, You know, like we just got nominated for a Grammy for a record produced and engineered, and he's like, "Okay, I'm looking for my Grammy dress now," and I'm like, "Okay, now you want to go because we're
Oh,
not."
now, yeah. Well, you can take me anywhere you want. I don't need stars.
You're on it.
I'm, I'll go anywhere you go. I don't care. I wouldn't. Nope, wouldn't bother me. I'm like, you know what it is? Because I'm not musical, right? I'm not. I have no skills with music, but I love it. But I love it, and everybody that you have enjoyed in your career, every Natalie Cole, I'm like, yeah, there, Andre Bocelli, all the people that you have interacted with, and I'm sitting there going, oh, look at him, he's over there. Oh my God, that's Russ. Oh my God, that's Russ.
Yeah.
And you're probably, because you know what the good thing is about being a drummer, when you have a singer in a band, the drummer is always behind the artist.
Yeah, right behind him.
Right? Because like they may get to the saxophone saxophone player on the right, maybe the pianist on the on the left and everything, but the drummer you see all the time. So it's like you're right head on. So whatever video that I saw, the drums were right behind.
Yeah, I make sure to do that too. I would hook the guys up, on the stage crew with stuff from back. Like, here's some cookies from the green room. You got school. You got some, make sure I'm right behind Jennifer.
Yeah, that's the best spot to be in.
That for sure. So make sure I'm right behind her.
Was there was there any one of them that was your favorite? Or, because you've played for all different type of genres too. You've done it all.
Yeah, they all. I think one of the keys to all of music, doing especially what we do, which is play different stuff, with different people. It's not like I was in one band. It was like I was in Rush for 40 years or something, or Journey. It's
Rush.
Yeah. If you were in one band like that, it's just. I think the thing is finding the art in all of it. Like I was watching Danny's video, like the artistry of that, like the rhythmic force of the lyric, the groove, the feel, the attitude, what's happening in there. Like that's the art of that.
Right.
Then you go, like you showed the thing from one of the sessions for the movies, like Onward.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like that's like playing, making the right sounds and things that lift the movie, but don't draw attention to you. It's, you shouldn't hear the music. You should, but if it was gone, it would change everything.
Right. Yeah.
I love it. I love it because you know what's so cool about you is that you understand the technical side of everything.
Yeah.
And what I really like though is you just basically like you watch the video and you just analyze the whole thing in a standpoint of a real good. And I always say this, man, only real good artists and people that are really good producers. You know what I'm saying? The drummer, people got to know something, man. Without that drum kick, half of them beats would not be nothing.
The saying is there's no great bands with bad drummers, because the drums are so powerful and the groove is such a big part of it that I don't care if you got Stevie Wonder and Eric Clapton in the band, if the drums aren't happening, it's in shambles. And, if the drums are there and it's pounding and the groove is happening, everybody just sits on it like a couch and goes, so it's crucial to, making sure that the whole unit comes together. And, what you were saying earlier, it's funny because one of the things I love about being the drummer is that I can walk around Walmart and Home Depot like nobody knows who I am, and I'm listening, like I might be on the radio at Home Depot. I'm like paying for my stuff and I'm hearing like, I'm like a Nelly Furtado or something, and I'm just paying. And it's great because it's like if Nelly was there, there'd be a big hoopla.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I've been through that before where it's like, we're leaving the hotel and, the advanced security crew is making a path for the artist and Gloria Estefan, and she's going to come down. She's going to go this way. And we're just sitting at the bar. Nobody knows it's us, and it's, I don't want to.
I'm gonna be great though, because it's like I've done all this stuff. I have all the accolades and stuff. So when the main people like come and see me, they already know it's about business, and I ain't got to deal with any of that extra stuff with people coming and trying to attack me.
Yeah, because I have that
love
issue
it.
all the time. I have fans bum rushing me all the time.
You guys go all over the place. You're syndicating every which way, sideways, upside down. You guys are going to be, you're not going to be able to walk around over there pretty soon.
Are you kidding me? No, you know what? I like to be hidden. I don't go out much. I like my little studio, right? We do our show and I go home. That's it.
Yeah, no, we're very happy with just having the normal life because years ago it was hectic.
Yeah,
I'm
around it a lot, and it's enough for me to be around it.
Yeah.
And like, there's times where, like Andrea, they won't even let those guys fly commercial. Like the airlines will not take the liability on. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want the BS of everybody, making the plane late because they want to stop and talk to people, all that. So there's some moments where like people don't think about some of that stuff, but it's like, there's been times where restaurants, they're like, yeah, no, we don't want that tonight. It's
yeah, because they know that's going to be a bum rush,
whole thing. I remember sitting at a restaurant with Jennifer Love Hewitt and it leaked and, it was totally cool. We were just sitting in a restaurant, me and her and two other people, and it leaked. And like, now there's 600 people at the window with their nose on.
My God. No, I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
We had an incident with somebody I'm very close with, right? And he was in a what do you call it? Not garage band. He was in one of the guitar center, right? And his single just came out, and he started playing the piano the same thing with the song, right? So he's just playing it. All of a sudden, he plays his song by mistake. Somebody recognizes him. We couldn't get out.
We couldn't get out the building.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I look at him and I'm like, man, and he looking at me, he said, this is something I can't stand.
Yeah, song, man. Like,
it took me about an hour to get to my car.
Yeah, it took us an hour to get out because people were just chasing him and chasing nothing like this.
Yeah.
So I definitely understand that.
I dealt with it last weekend because I played the Percussive Art Society international convention. So it's like the biggest convention for the drum and percussion industry. Okay. So I was one of the featured performers, and like there I walk in, everybody knows you because
you're in the element.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, you're a big deal for 24 hours and then get out.
But it's got to kind of feel a little good.
Listen, man, at the end of the day, your music got heard for 32 million people.
Yeah.
Probably plus. And then, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. The one thing that impressed me, I just wanted to know which season, okay? Because I also saw that you were the house band for American Idol. Which season?
For 4 seasons, but the first season was the one that Philip Phillips won.
Kelly Clarkson won the first one.
Yeah, so I was season. We went in. So there was one band, Ricky Minor and those guys were. Mm-hmm. They went to the Tonight Show in I want to say 2015. It was season 11 is the first.
Okay.
So they went to the Tonight Show, and then we were the new band on Idol. So
who did you have with the judges then at that time? Who were the judges?
Lopez and let's
see.
Randy,
was it
Randy Jackson, Jennifer Lopez, and the last year I did it was Mariah and Nick
time. Yeah, when Mariah and was it Nicki Minaj when they were both on together?
Yeah,
they didn't get along.
No, and they did it on purpose.
You think? Oh, okay. Yeah,
it was all entertainment. Listen, it was all entertainment, neither ratings. Come on.
The biggest show in the world that has nothing to do with music.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that, but it
was cool. It was cool. I actually had a great time on there. It was a real. It was a lot of pressure though because there was a lot of music, a lot of playing, a lot of stuff, and it got easier as it went on, right? Because when they first start, we're playing 30 songs with 30 people, and then like they'd kick somebody off. Now it's 29, now it's 28, 20. Okay, so the last couple weeks, it's only 4 or 5 things, is no problem. But
Right. Yeah.
kick in, it was a lot. And I mean, they were writing. There was times where I would be literally sight reading the song on television. Like we never rehearsed it. They gave me the like on the music stand,
Right.
and I'm sight reading it. And I'll tell the story really quick. Jimmy Iovine was working on the Beats headphones, right? And with Dr. Dre. And Jimmy used to be, you got to wear the Beats headphones. I'm like, oh man, we don't really dig those that much. But, we had the real high-end in-ear monitors that are like molded for your ears, and they're like $3,000, and it sounds amazing.
Right.
Blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I told Justin, that my drum tech that works for me, I like, listen, I'm going to wear my in-ears. I'll put the Beats over my in-ears and I'll cover them up. So Jimmy will think I got it, I'm wearing them. But what was happening was there was so much music coming at us, and it was so fast. We ended up putting YouTube in the Beats headphones. So I had my monitors in for me to play and listen and play with the band. But in my Beats headphones, I had YouTube, so that when they put the chart on the stand, he would go to YouTube, and I would have about 25 or 30 seconds to hear the original song of what we're going to, before we would have to sight read it and play it.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You have to be a pro to do that, man.
It was.
You gotta be a pro.
A lot of.
Well, look who we're talking to.
Yeah, but listen, man, at the end of the day, man, think about all them records, right? You haven't heard anything, so now you got to go through that pattern ASAP, and you got to say, okay, I got to do it like this, and everyone's got to be in sync at the same time. Oh my goodness.
And a lot of it was like, well, I grew up playing a lot in bar bands and wedding bands. So like, if you called Motown songs, like I know all those songs.
Right.
Michael Jackson songs. I know all that. It's like when they go, what's the new Lady Gaga song? I'm like, I don't know that.
I don't even know the new ones either.
Yeah. And then you'd have to be like, oh, hey, Justin, we got to have a hand clap on an electronic pad, and we got to have a finger click, and we got to like program it real fast. And it was kind of a lot of pressure,
When you do all those sessions and stuff like that, how long are you away from home?
I used to be gone a lot when I was younger with my wife, and before I was married, maybe 150 days a year minimum. And then once I got married, I rolled it back a little bit. And then once my daughter was born, I tried to be more in LA, doing a lot more movie stuff and TV stuff, not tour as much for long periods of time. Or I would do stuff with people like Andrea or somebody that they don't want to go do big runs anymore. Couple 3 weeks,
right? Yeah,
but when we were younger, we'd leave for 5-6 months, and
oh, you ain't leaving for 5-6 months.
I done that when I was younger.
I'm just saying, I'm not doing it. But you know what I noticed? All this time we were sitting here, and I'm looking behind him.
Yeah.
So he's got this nice drum set behind him right now. Does that play?
It does.
I'm just trying to coax him. Yeah. He wants to get behind it.
On our microphones, but I'll do something before we split for sure.
Oh, I love this guy. I do. So anyway, now with the aspect of, you do look like a professor, okay? He does look like a professor. I can see him as a musical professor.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? He has that tenacity. But do you enjoy that? I mean, is that something that you are more, broadening right now with the teaching and the consulting and stuff?
Yeah, I do enjoy it. I mean, I taught privately a lot when I was younger, and then I taught at a couple colleges. And the one thing that I have done a tremendous amount is a lot of the instrument companies, Zildjian cymbals and Yamaha drums and Mapex drums and all these big companies, they would ask us to do educational clinics all over the world. And I have literally, I think I've been in maybe 115 or 120 countries doing educational seminars. And I mean everywhere. I mean Mongolia, Madagascar. Like,
I've been there.
Yeah, like everywhere you can think of, where there's these music schools and music stores. You mentioned Guitar Center. For years we used guitar centers all over, and then tons in Europe, and I really enjoy giving information and all that. Teaching privately, there's a window of time that I think is in your life that you can deal with that, because there becomes like this, now there's a liability, like if this person is working on it or not.
Right.
You give them all this stuff, and do they work on it and come back, or do they come back and like they're just as bad as they were last week? And it's like, now I'm like trying to beat you into submission to get you to get this thing. It's so I had tolerance for it more when I was younger, but I really love to give the information and do master classes and big things. I really enjoy that. I've done a lot of that over the years. So that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, he's just like, he was like, when he was talking before, I was like, he could be my professor. He's just interesting to, when I could listen to you too, but only for so much.
No, I'm just,
but
I get happy with him though is because he knows the technical side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I would love to hear a lot about the technical side, because being an artist, like being, like in there, like a DJ and being a rapper with the lyrics and stuff like that, I really don't get in crazy with the technical side.
Yeah.
So when you say all that, I'm very intrigued when I hear that.
The thing, like,
maybe you take one of his classes.
I think I am.
Okay. Go ahead.
I love that style of music. I mean, I think the biggest challenge is, there's a lack of harmony in that music, right? So that, I think the exploration of that style is in the development of harmony, because there's, you'll go through some of those tunes and it's like literally 2 chords and like just a very basic bass movement or something. The other thing that happens is that music style is often written from the rhythm section upward. And most great songs are written from the lyric melody downward, right? So you take a Billy Joel, he's going to sit at the piano and write this incredible melody lyric and then put chords to it, then figure out what drum beat and guitar and strings or horns or whatever, right? Whereas a lot of the R&B hip hop, they come up with a beat first and then write the other stuff to it. So what I want to encourage them to do is write downward and see the way that it changes the way you approach music, because at the end of the day, the great songs that you're still singing and still hearing at a wedding, like you go to a wedding now, it's still Elton John, Billy Joel, all the stuff that we grew up with. You don't hear the latest Beyonce thing until the deep, like,
right.
And the reason the bands don't play it is because a lot of that music is not formulated around ensembles of guys playing. It's formulated around some programming and things. So it just doesn't translate the same way. So it's funny that like what we consider like the classics or the fundamental songs that we listen to are still stuff that were written that way. Elton John's and Billy Joel's and all that stuff that was written that way 25 years ago. So what I'm looking for out of that style is the ones that are going to break the ground and go, I'm going to write it from the top down and not worry about that beat until I got such an incredible story and an incredible lyric and melody that I'm going to carry that whole thing if there was no beat at all.
I like that. I really like that concept.
Me too. I never thought, honestly, I never really thought about that, because when you're doing it in a different type of environment, because nowadays you see the engineer, he doesn't go and play a live tune. You don't have a live band behind you. What they do is they take everything electronically and digitally and they go, so I never took that in a perspective how being like a live band would have kind of not issues, but it wouldn't coincide the way that it will if it was actually recorded live inside the studio. I never took it like that.
Yeah.
The other
write that down. Go ahead.
The other challenge too is, the more programming and electronics there are, the more serendipitous things are taken away, right? Because now these things going, I'm going to play these notes, we're going to put them all together. And it sounds great and it feels great and that's all fine. But there's moments where we were in the studio making you know that song "I'm Like a Bird" from Nelly's
Yeah.
Retired?
I'm
Like a bird.
I'm
Na,
like
na, na.
a- Yeah,
I,
that.
I played on that, and we were doing Nelly's first record, and you know, Nelly's 19 years old at the time,
Hmm.
and we just had ideas back then to, if you listen to that song, she wanted the verses to feel programmed. So I said, well, listen, we want it to feel good, so I'm going to play the beat, and then let's go back and sample it and then loop it. Even though I could just play it, it's
Right.
going to have a different feel, right, for that verse. But then in the chorus, I'm just going to come in like big fat Bonham drum, John Bonham, Led Zeppelin drums, and so what's going to happen is the whole chorus is going to explode, even
Wow.
though I play that something that much different, because it went from this loopy programming thing to, you know, and it's a big thing, and it really lifts the chorus. So like those are things that don't happen if we're not all in the room and people playing and interacting and inspiring each other. You hear somebody play that and you go, dude, that's dope. Let's do that, and we're going to change this, and I'm going to change what I play because you did this. And you know, the other part is you got to make sure that you're not taking a bunch of parts and trying to assemble music. You're allowing music to happen, and music happens because it's communication between people. So like when you're in there, man, you know, don't ever do it unless another cat's in there and you guys can interact with like a piano player or something, you know, so that like that's what it inspires me to do that. And it's so fun. I mean, you show that video of Jeff Dana, who's one of the great film composers, and I've done probably 40 or 50 movies with Jeff.
Name some.
Everything from Resident Evil to Onward to I don't know what. We've done tons of, you know, and but being in that room and having the orchestra and us all playing and
Yeah.
things are moved. Like you mentioned Blue Blay, like on that last Michael Bublé record,
Mm.
he did that live, and I mean live, full orchestra on the floor at the Fox Newman stage, and he sang live on a pedestal in front of the orchestra like Sinatra used to.
Mm.
And we played that whole thing live, and even the lead voice live, which that's never right. Everybody knows band, and then the lead vocalist goes in and does 3 million takes, and they comp it together, and blah blah blah. It's like old school, and if you listen to a track like "Smile," which is the
Mm.
piece, we recorded "Smile" on the Fox Newman stage with Michael Bublé live. I was in the same spot where they recorded it with Charlie Chaplin when he did it the first time.
Wow.
Same room.
Holy cow.
So that was
That's
really
monumental.
Yeah.
really cool.
That is monumental. But
Yeah.
Michael Bublé, I love him too. I love like most of like everybody that he's, especially when I heard Bobby Caldwell. I was like, oh yeah, you know, I'm old school,
Yeah.
you know. And
Wow.
they don't.
We always every gig with Bobby, we'd start playing, so we'd walk out the first tune, and the first 5 rows you could see everyone mouthing to each other, "He's white."
He does have, yeah, he does, yeah.
Yeah.
But I never said that, but yeah, no, I could understand because he has that,
Yeah.
yeah. He has that, what's that guy, Al Jarreau kind of voice, right?
Yeah.
Can you compare that to
Yeah.
Al Jarreau?
Al-
You know,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
He had that powerful voice.
Yeah, we just lost Bobby. He was a super talented guy. He was awesome,
You
and
know.
had a lot of good times. We did a lot in Japan. He was huge in Japan. We used to play Budokan, and 25 nights at the Blue Note Tokyo, like sold out 2 shows a night, like really really popular over there.
You know, and I remember also Andrea Bocelli, he did a song with Ed Sheeran,
Yeah, recently.
right? Because
Yeah.
I remember seeing that, and I was like, you know, because sometimes you never know. The old school comes with the new school,
Yeah.
and sometimes the collaborations that happen. But
It's-
how do you,
Yeah, I mean, the prayer that we did with Celine Dion, that one's ridiculous.
Yeah,
And you know what the funny thing is? Wasn't I not just playing that the other night?
yeah.
I was just playing that the other night. I was like, you got to the living on the prayer song is probably. Hold on a second. Okay, there we go. So,
Yeah.
oh, okay, that's what he's telling me. Oh, okay, he's like drummer time.
Oh, drum, like play the drum time.
Play the drums.
Okay, all right. What do you, how long do we have? We got a couple minutes or no?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
no, we got like 10 minutes for you.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna play something real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, let me turn this on.
I'm dying for this. What are you kidding me? Keep it going.
I'm loving stories.
That's a beautiful drum set too. I like that.
All right,
It's so dope.
I'm gonna play something light so I don't blow the microphone up because it might.
Oh, okay. Don't play it too light. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. See.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that is somebody that has been on 32 million record copies sold.
I got my own personal routine there. Okay.
That was, and it looked like it was effortless.
He was actually serenading me through the drums. You know that, right? He
Yeah.
was serenading me.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there. Let's leave the drumming to him. Okay.
Hey man.
Let's just
At the
calm down.
at the end of the day, that looked effortless.
I know.
I'm not even gonna lie, that looked effortless. You ever see a basketball player where they have muscle memory?
Mhm.
That's what it looked like. It just looked like he was just easy.
You would see that's him. If you were behind the drums, you would look like what's his name, the animal from the Muppets.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
You know what I'm saying?
Tasmanian devil. Tasmanian devil.
There wouldn't be a drum set left.
Oh
okay?
no, it'd be all over.
But I just think you're just phenomenal.
Yeah, man.
You guys
very great talent.
You guys are too kind. It's fun. I always tell everybody like the goal. When I see somebody like Tom Brady, not that I'm referring myself to him, but when I see somebody like a Tom Brady or one of those great quarterbacks or great sports people, what strikes me about somebody like that is that everything in his life is a byproduct of his skill set.
Right.
Like he never played football to be rich. He never played football to marry Giselle. He never played football to, get TV commercials. He played football to be the best quarterback he could be. And that was always like my focus when I was a young person, like about 11 or 12 years old. I said, I want to play the drums. And no one in my family was in music. I grew up in a really small town just south of Cleveland. So there's nothing there. But I was always in my mind a professional drummer. Even if I had to work at Wendy's, I was a professional drummer who was working at Wendy's.
Right. Yeah.
I was never working at Wendy's wanting to be a professional drummer.
I love his concepts. I really do.
And
I like his confidence.
That got me. And I told my wife, like when we got married, listen, there's times when there's money, there's times when there's a lot of money, there's times when you're famous, there's times when you're not. It just doesn't matter. Like I'm here to play music at the highest level I can, and try to, make the best music with the best people.
Yeah.
And if I succeed at that, you will have everything you ever dreamt of. Because I don't want any of that. All I want to do is play the music.
Play the music.
The people. So great. We got a big house and car. That's awesome. I don't care. It's not for me.
Well, if you got room for one more, I'm available.
We can set that up.
There we go. See, I'm moving
funny.
out, baby.
You're funny.
Okay. But
I'm not in LA. It's only 50 degrees here. Come on.
I'm fine with that.
You know what's cool too is that like you're behind the drums, right? And you don't like you have so many accolades, right? Like with the plaques and all of that. And you're sitting here just normally around the drums, relaxing, doing your thing because you love music so much that you love your accolades, but you love music so much you can see it in you. And that's why you succeeded higher than a lot of people probably because you let the music take you.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's it. And the great musicians, one of the most important components is humility, because it's super important that you let everyone around you shine and you support everybody. My job with Ray Charles is to make sure that Ray Charles can be who he is and do what he's supposed to do, not to prove myself or anything. And what happens is by doing that, you end up executing at a really high level. And that's what draws people in, rather than trying to, make sure that like, oh man, I'm recording with Ray Charles. I got to play like the most wicked drum fill in history.
I love that.
So everybody remembers this drum fill, but then it doesn't make great music. So that's the thing where when I hear we're talking about I'm like a bird, when I'm standing in Target and I'm like a bird, it's like, it just in my brain, I think like, wow, what we did there it meant something, and to people to a point where that particular piece, for instance, has become a staple of the past 20 years. You hear it all the time.
Yeah.
I didn't think anybody was going to buy that record. I told, I mean, sometimes you do stuff like, listen, we did that first record with Nelly and I'm like, nobody's going to buy this. And then it's 9 million albums and like, Grammys. Jennifer Love Hewitt, who's a sweetheart, and she can sing.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. And I told Andy Goldmark, who was the AR guy at Interscope when we were doing the record, I said, listen, Love is great. She can sing great. She's a superstar. She's beautiful. I mean, this is like, if we can't sell this, we might as well.
We're bad.
That record went plywood with an anchor tied to it. Like it didn't, there was nothing, she's a huge star, but it just didn't take,
Can I ask you a question though? From just understanding like marketing and promotion, right? Does a lot of records fall because of the way that the campaign rolls out?
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of times what happens too is, they've got that quarter or that half a year, they're like, okay, the country division has this money and the R&B division has this money and this. And I mean, even, with American Idol and some of that stuff, it's like Interscope isn't going to sign 4 years in a row 19-year-old African-American female.
Yeah.
Because like they're all going to compete against one another. So it's like we got a white country singing female last season. We need a R&B.
Right. Yeah.
So they
you do need the versatility.
They have the agenda usually sometimes, like which one they're going to be picking, or does it just vary on the talent?
I'm not going to say that publicly, but I mean, I can.
No, I didn't say. No, I'm not talking about American Idol. I'm talking about labels.
Oh, absolutely, because there's a budget set aside, and the other thing too you got to watch out for that started to happen in the later years that never used to happen when we were younger was the AR guys who are working at the label started to try to play songs on the artists that they were signing. So they
Okay,
want
yeah.
the songs that they were involved in and had writers credits on placed on those records. So if the artist pushed back, then the AR guy would pull back a little bit and go, well, this I don't cheer on. I'm not going to make money on the side hustle on this.
Okay, because I see a lot of that too. Being a DJ,
Yeah.
I see a lot of them going, okay, I wrote this right here for the publishing, and then they ain't taking the publishing, so they ain't getting the deal.
Right. So that's and then what happened is, like, say a new AR guy came in. Now he's got all his people. They'd shelf all the stuff the old guy was doing, and so there's a lot. There's a lot of things that we always would say, man, a lot of things got to go right for this to work.
Yeah.
A lot of things have to fall in place, and it's not just the music sometimes, and that's why we would always tell artists and say, listen, just make the music that you want to make, that makes you want to put out, because if you try to chase all these fools, they'll take you right down in the sewer. Like, just do what you want to do, make it correct, be proud of it, and then that will carry what you want to do, and you will make that make sense. But try to go, oh, what do they want? I want to make it sound like Beyonce. I want to do this.
Yes.
It's like,
You know what? We got to do a part 2.
I know we got to do a part 2 with him or something. I mean, he's just so, but in closing, okay, I did want to wish you a happy belated birthday, November 16th.
Yeah, I was playing at the PASIC thing on my birthday night. So that was fun for me to watch the PASIC convention, the drum and percussion convention, when I was a boy, and want to play there. And I played there many times now, but to be one of the headlining guys on my 55th birthday.
God bless you.
This is cool.
I know. Rough, is it?
Did you?
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, that was awesome. And
go ahead.
A rough is a drum rudiment, right? It's like like drums. It's like one of the drum rudiments. They call it a rough. It goes, it's like rap, rap, rap when you play rap, that's like a rough. So Kirsten Matt from the Zildjian Cymbal Company, she goes to the bakery, and the girl couldn't speak English.
Right. And so he said Russ, and she wrote on his birthday cake Ruff. R-U-F.
Really?
Russ, R-U-S-S. All right. She gets the cake back and it says Ruff on it. And she just saw when it said Ruff, she goes, this is too perfect. So she just
cute. It was too cute. But you know what? That happened to me. My girlfriend went to get a cake for Althea. And then when they opened it, it said Othello.
Nice.
Yeah. Right. So yeah. I was with you right there. I was like, when I saw that video, I was like, oh my God, that's so adorable.
Yeah, it was classic.
Yeah, that was classic, but I didn't know that there's a behind story on that, so that's pretty cool, actually. But again, it's been a pleasure. I enjoyed
an honor.
You guys are awesome. Fine, let's come out to LA.
Oh God!
Oh no, we are.
Oh, he
I'm gonna come out to LA.
Plane right away. Yeah. He won't stop. He'll be like, honey, I'm going to Russ's house. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I'm going over there, man. We're about to go record a different song, different jam.
Oh, now he's got a whole new body. You got a whole new body of like, oh, okay, let's do it this way now.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick, I got to tell you one thing. In 2020, I wanted to stay home more with my daughter, so I came up with this idea of having a company that made online concert events. So, and we developed a specific software. I work with these guys I know in Germany that allows people on any device anywhere in the world. They can watch online concerts, and they can switch the cameras and watch any camera. They can switch the audio, listen in stereo, Atmos, spatial, surround, and you can put on a VR headset.
Right.
We put 360-degree VR cameras on the stage. So when you put on the headset, you're standing on the stage from anywhere.
Oh my God!
It's like you're doing it. And it's called Hitor, Hitor.
Okay, I got it.
Go check it out. And we've been in business now for 5 years. I took a bunch of my dough and invested it. We have an investment board, bunch of heavy guys. And we've had about 80 or 90 shows, everybody from En Vogue to Ministry to Filter to, Jordan Sparks was just there a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. And it's really, really cool. And we love to have artists on there, and really, especially young artists. And it's a great way to watch. If you're a fan of the artist, it's an incredible way to watch the artist in a way you've never been able to do.
Well, we'll definitely check it out. Okay. Again, I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank
Russ.
you, brother.
Everybody
so
go
much.
check out russmiller.com. You can't get any better than that. russmiller.com. Go check this man out. He's a genius. Thank you everybody for watching. We'll see you next Sunday. Peace out, everybody.
ladies and gentlemen.
Buddy, thank you.
You're welcome.